everyone. I'm just gonna tell you a quick story about a guy named Jesus. So, raise your hand if you already know the death of Jesus. Yeah, I need to say one. So, like, the death of Jesus is more than people think. Like, a bunch of people are like, oh, I bet I can do it. It doesn't mean anything, but it means more than anything. Like, his death is more worse than the past or is going to be in the future. Clap for Jesus. I'm just going to tell you guys a quick summary about Jesus. So basically, Jesus already knew that his fate was going to come soon. So he was in the garden praying really hard. So hard that even like blood was coming out. Like you know, like bodybuilders that like they like try to get more muscles, but like sometimes it pops out like it's not bleeding. That's how much weight. With Jesus, he was praying so hard that his blood was coming out. Really powerful. But I just want to say that he knew that he knows everything. So he knew. So he knew they were gonna come. And the devil was right there saying, you don't need to do this. Like, why you want to do this? Like, you're weird. Like, no one likes you. You don't. It's not gonna matter. He tried to like discourage Jesus. Who here has been discouraged about something that they want to do? Yeah, me too. So Jesus didn't listen. He kept on praying. Blood came out, everything. He kept on praying, and soldiers came. Jesus knew he was praying everything. Soldiers came. He heard footsteps. He knew, and then when they came, they took him. Even everyone was scared. Like all the disciples ran away. They couldn't. They didn't. They were scared. And then Jesus knew the first trial was going to begin. They took Jesus inside a temple. I think I forgot. Like a court. They said to Jesus, I forgot, but they told him like he was guilty, this and that, but we all knew Jesus did nothing. They even said, they were mad because he was claiming he was the Son of God. Even though he is, I'm pretty sure everyone knows that. And he said he was, and they got angry. They grabbed him and they took him to the king. They took him to the king, and they said the king saw Jesus. The king knew Jesus wasn't guilty, and Jesus was praying. Jesus was kind to children. Jesus was kind to everyone. Jesus was good, best friend. So the king said, this man did nothing. He's innocent. But everyone started booing. Everyone started saying, crucify him. We don't want him alive. He's claiming to be a son of God. We don't want him here anymore. And Caesar knew that Jesus did nothing, but he didn't know what to do. So he listened to the people. And I just want to say, Jesus took the most beating out of anyone. And the fact that he did it for us, he deserved a great amount of applause. So they got sticks, they beat him up, they laughed at him, they mocked him. look at him now, ha ha ha, look at him. They started spitting at him. Like, it was so bad that you couldn't even see his face. You couldn't even, it was just all flesh, everything was all bad. You couldn't even see, you couldn't even recognize him. Everything was just blood and flesh. They beat him. They got like that stick that has like 4 thorns on it. No, not 4, 7 thorns. They went like that and it would get stuck inside his skin. Then all the blood was around. That's how much Jesus loved us. John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish but have eternal life. I'm not done yet. I'm almost. After they didn't kill him. They just beat him up, and then they got him, and they got like a thorn, like that was shaped like a crown. They put on his head. They got like sticks and stick it in there inside his head. Terrible. But they still mocked him. They still made fun of him. They still spat at him. They still said, oh, look, the King of the Jews. Ha ha ha. Oh, he's a crown, Your Majesty. And then he just stick this inside his head. Okay. And while they were gonna send him to like a mountain where they were gonna, crucify him. I think it's called the mountain of school or something. I forgot. The school mountain? I don't know.
Los maestros de la ley.
But okay. But right, like the least they could do is like carry his cross. But no, he had to carry it himself. Literally Jesus, all beaten up, all swollen, all bleeding, everything terrible. Things like you couldn't even recognize him. He's all bleeding, everything bad that we can't even handle. For sure we can. And he's over here carrying his own cross. He's taking his own cross to his own death. Everyone was, first they wanted to crucify him, but now they were sad. They wanted to change their mind. A man named Judas, one of the disciples of Jesus, he betrayed him. He didn't want to be a follower anymore, so the Roman guards didn't like Jesus, and they said, do you know this guy named Jesus? And since Judas was his disciple, he just told him everything. And then they said, I'll give you, I forgot how much coins, but I'll give you money in exchange for what you tell me Jesus is. And Judas took the money. Even when Jesus was still carrying his cross, they were still mocking him. Who here doesn't like bullying? Who here doesn't like to be bullied? I mean, it brings you down, it makes you feel bad, it makes you want to not do things anymore. But I mean, they mocked him, but Jesus still kept on going. He kept on going. He loves us so much. I just want to let you know. Whenever you have problems, you can think of his story, how he died for you, and how he loved you so much. He carried his own cross. He took all the beating. He took all of the suffering just for us. He took all of our sins just for that. So there he is. They already made it to the mountain, and I don't even know if I can say this part. They put Jesus on the cross, the first needle in his hand, and that thing, like when something like sharp gets in your hand or like in your arm, like like you have like these like little like I don't know what they call it, like little veins, and once they pop out, because Jesus' veins probably popped out, and when it happens, you start burning. You start. It's bad. You just start burning everywhere, and the fact that Jesus had one right here, another one right here, and two in his legs is just wow. Can't even explain it. So there he is, lying on the cross. He was there, and then they were gonna put him up. There's a little hole where like the cross lands. And I gotta say, this is the worst part. Or at least not the worst part, but like probably the bad part. He falls in with all the needles, all the pain, everything. He falls in the hole like that. And he couldn't even breathe. He had to get his arms, he had to go like that. Even though he's all swollen, all bleeding, he had no, you can barely see him. You can't even recognize him. So he goes like that to breathe, and then he goes down. But when he goes down, he can't breathe. Then he goes back up, he breathes. Then he goes down, he can't breathe. He does that the whole time. But they still mock him. They still make fun of him. Some people even say, if you really are the Son of God, just come down then. Jesus could have killed all those people right there, but he didn't. He even said, Lord, forgive them, for they don't know what they are doing. He loves everyone in here, out of here, everyone in this whole world. Who here thinks they did something really bad or had done something really bad? Be honest, raise your hand. Who has done something really bad? You don't need to tell me. I like honesty. Well, just ask Jesus. Lord, I'm sorry for the bad things I've done. And I'm just really sorry for the bad things I've done. Just say sorry. Just say forgive me. And he will. He will. God loves us so much that he has to. So much that we can just say, I'm sorry, please forgive me. And he will. He will. And in the final times, he's gonna come back. He's gonna come back again. So all of his children may rejoice with him, and all of his children may have fun, may have the glory, may have the spirit. It's gonna be a beautiful day. I love Cam. I mean, Cam talks about all the things Jesus done, all the stories. Even one of the counselors told me a story about Job. Really good preaching. But back to Jesus. So Jesus, they got a sponge for Jesus to drink water, but he said no. He wanted to die for our sins so that we may come with him. We may go to heaven with him. So when the last time he died on the cross, everyone was sad, but he had to do it. I mean, if he didn't, then we wouldn't even have a chance in heaven. Adam and Eve disobeyed God and ate the fruit, and that's what separated our relationship with God. We were best friends, yeah. And sin just came and he separated us. That's why we come to camp and we go to church and we read the Bible so we can have another shot with being with Jesus. Because he's the truth, the way, and the life.